Alright, this is homework help for lesson 4.5. This is number 4A. Number 4A from 4.5. It says, sketch each parabola, label the x-intercepts and the vertex. So we're given an equation in A. It says y equals 3x times x plus 2. Now this is in a little bit different form than we're used to, but we can still see here that we have two factors. 3x is a factor, and x plus 2 is a factor. Okay? So what we get when we're finding our x-intercepts from the equation is that we need to find the place that makes this whole thing equal 0. Right? So where this crosses the x-axis, I don't know what it looks like. I'm just going to go like that. I know that's actually not what it looks like, but we'll draw that for now. These x-intercepts are where y equals 0. So our goal is to find the values of x that make y 0. Find the values of x that make y equal 0. Well, let's do that. Let's put 0 in for y and see if we can solve for x, and you'll see something that happens here. So if we have 0 equaling 3x times x plus 2. Now we know in order for something to equal 0, we just need to multiply it by 0. So one of these factors has to be 0. Okay, well let's say 3x equals 0. What does x have to be in order to make 3 times x equal 0?
0.
X equals 0. Well, what about over here? Let's say x plus 2 equals 0. What does x have to be in order to make x plus 2 equal 0? Negative 2. We could solve this algebraically. If we just subtract 2 from both sides, we get x equals negative 2. So right there, we've gotten only one of them is in this form where it's like x minus r. So we know one of the r's, one of the x-intercepts is negative 2. The other one is the value of x that makes this factor equal 0, which is 0. So if we were going to sketch this graph, we would know that we have an x-intercept at 0, and we would have an x-intercept at negative 2. And which direction is this thing opening? It's opening up. So I don't know where my vertex is yet, but I know my arms are going to kind of look like that. Well, now that we have our x-intercepts, are you comfortable with finding the vertex?
Yeah, that's easy.
Okay, so finding the vertex, we're just taking the mean of these as far as our x coordinate of the vertex. 0 minus 2 over 2 equals negative 2 over 2 equals negative 1. So our vertex, the x coordinate, is negative 1. It's somewhere on this line. And then we just sub in x equals negative 1 into our original equation in order to find the y coordinate of our vertex. So if we did that, well, not here. If I take this equation down, and we subbed in negative 1 for x, we get y equals 3 times negative 1 times negative 1 plus 2. Do what's in the brackets. Is negative 1 plus 2 is plus 1. So now we have 3 times negative 1 times plus 1, which is just negative 3. So down here we have a vertex at negative 1, negative 3.
Negative 2.
And we can finish off our parabola.
Negative 2.
These are being multiplied. So negative 1 times 1 is negative 1.
Plus 1.
And negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. So these are multiplication.
Yeah, but you said plus 1.
Okay. Yeah, we're multiplying it by plus 1. Yeah, multiplying it by positive 1.